to another video here of House Divided. Obviously, football season's over, but football is kicking into gear here. We got Champions League quarterfinals here in the next couple of days, and obviously semifinals, finals, all that at the end of the regular season for most of the leagues. And then obviously the big one, the World Cup, coming up. We'll focus on that once it gets a little bit closer. But, hey, you want to kind of, I don't know if people know what fans of teams we are.
Yeah.
You kind of want to start with that, man?
Yeah, we'll start. I think it's best we start with our local team. You know,
Yeah,
we're here in
FC.
Austin. We support Austin FC here in the MLS.
Yes, sir.
And then over abroad,
Mm-hmm.
we both support FC Barcelona.
Yes, sir. Hey, we actually support the same team for once.
Yeah, for once. But back to our home league and to
in
the
Mexico,
true nature
yeah.
of this podcast. We are a house divided.
Yeah,
For our home city of Monterrey has two teams.
yeah.
And we are divided there. I'm
Yeah.
a Tigres fan.
And Rayados. And, even though we've sucked
Yeah.
for a lot of years. Or we haven't sucked, but it's always like coming up short. No, but yeah, Barca, and then England. I kind of like Chelsea, but I'm more, as a whole Europe, just Barca. In general.
Yeah. If I had to pick a Prem team, I've been a Pep homer since he was with Barca, so I guess my loyalty's to Pep, not necessarily
and
the team.
they're really good, so
Yeah.
that doesn't hurt.
But I'm not a City fan.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like
If you were watching
yeah.
the team, that's kind of with me with Chelsea.
Yeah.
But, we'll go straight into it, to these quarterfinal matchups. Round of 16, a little one-sided, not really any game that was kind of like, a late drama kind of.
Yeah, no. The closest one was Sporting Bodo Glimt with the
that was
remontada,
good,
which was very cool to see.
But it was-
Obviously heartbreaking though. I feel like a lot
I
of the
wanted
community
Bodo Glimt.
wanted Bodo Glimt to win. It was very special.
but the Sporting, they were both one-sided games. But
Yeah, it was the
the
5-0 and the
thing-
3-0.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
we'll go into it. The first one, speaking of Sporting, I think kind of like the most one-sided matchup in this draw here. Arsenal versus Sporting. If I'm not mistaken, the first leg is in Lisbon.
It's in Lisbon because Arsenal they
Yeah.
topped the table phase.
Yeah, and then it would be at the Emirates. But what are your predictions for these two legs and the matchup as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously think this is kind of Arsenal's best year coming into it, so I think they're looking really good, and I know there's been some questions about how moral what they did over the international break is. But they should be fresh. They should be healthy. They did just lose in the FA Cup to Southampton. So, but I
And
don't.
the
I think that
Carabao
was.
Cup
I don't
final
think
to
they
Man
cared. I
City
think that
as
was
well.
planned. I think they were getting ready for this. I think they come out. I think they could win big in Lisbon, maybe 2-0, 3-0, and I think they could do the same thing again in once they're in London at the Emirates, and I think it could be another 3. I think we could see a little 6-1 on aggregate. Arsenal win.
I honestly think it's going to be a lot lopsided. I do think the Lisbon one might be a little closer. I think obviously the home fans are going to make an impact there. But I do think Arsenal pick up a 1-0 win. I think obviously the best defensive team in Europe, and I think they won't let up any goals to Lisbon. I think they get a free kick or a corner goal late in the game and kind of escape with a win. And then I think at the Emirates they kind of
I feel like they show more control there.
I think 4-0, 4-1, 5-1, 5-0. It's going to be this one.
Yeah. I like what you said. Classic Arteta set piece ball in the first leg.
I just think maybe Arsenal is just going to say a draw or a 1-goal win here is good enough, and we'll take care of business at home. And I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's a fair assessment. I do think they get the win in both legs, but
yeah,
that's a fair assessment.
Okay. All right. Moving on here to we'll go more in depth into these ones. I think they're more exciting. To be honest, and you can pick either team.
Yeah, and like if we were good to go, we're not gonna really do it. But like if you were to like discuss combined 11s, I kind of feel like with Arsenal.
Oh, it would be every
You're
single
just
Arsenal.
looking at Arsenal's squad.
I think the striker position, the Sporting striker Luis Suarez, not the Uruguayan, the Colombian,
and not the old Spanish one either.
I think he would get in over Gyökeres.
Which is funny because Gyökeres just left Sporting.
So I think that's the
and
only...
don't diss on my boy Trincao, man. Barca legend.
He is good, but I don't know. Maybe over Odegaard at the 10, but I still think I'm
No, I think Arsenal is for sure better
but
at every position.
Yeah, we'll move on to, I think, the second most matchup I'm excited for here, kind of a rematch of the round of 16 last year. Liverpool topped the table and they drew the eventual champions in PSG, and we get a rematch here, and I think it's going to be a great one. Obviously, Liverpool not up to their standards in the Premier League, but they're still a great, obviously expensive team. And then PSG, kind of like last year, they're heating up in the right moment and destroyed Chelsea there in those two legs.
Yeah, I think this is a game for a series for the Parisians to win again and push themselves forward. I just think they're stronger, as you said. Their momentum is a lot better than Liverpool's is right now. They're just doing a lot better in their own league. They're coming off of the rest. Obviously, we know things are a little weird with the Lens game getting moved back in PSG's favor thanks to Ligue 1. So that's another thing working in PSG's advantage. But I just think they're a lot more cohesive right now. I think they have the better coach, and I think they have the better players. So first leg, it should be in Paris because they didn't finish as high in the table phase. So I do think they could win big. I could see that going like 2-0 and then 1-1 in the when they get to Anfield.
I think the weird thing of last year's was PSG they were at home first and they played way better, and then Liverpool stole 1-0, and then everyone was like, oh, Liverpool at Anfield's going to win, and then PSG put on an even better performance and beat them at home in pens. But I think the difference here is I also am going to pick PSG. I think with no Trent, and obviously their left back has been non-existent.
Yeah, Frimpong hasn't been what he was advertised.
Any combination of those three wingers and Barcola, Kavicha, and Doué is just going to torch those fullbacks. And I think Van Dijk's going to have his hands full focusing on Dembele up front. So I don't think he'll be able to help out. And I do think, Kavicha had amazing performance against Chelsea, especially in that first leg. And I think he might be able to repeat it, score 1 or 2 goals, 1 goal in each leg. And I think he'll be the X factor in this. And I think obviously Salah doesn't have that X factor anymore. And attacking, I think Liverpool is really underwhelming considering all the signings they got. So I do think PSG win. I think in aggregate, I could see them 5-2, 5-3 maybe.
I like that.
But I do think they win big in the first leg, and then the second leg it's like a draw, but they still win in aggregate.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking, a little lower scoring than you. I do think that it's just going to be very heavily contested, and it's going to be moving. Because I do think, especially with PSG, their midfields and their attack is going to be insane, so I think they'll be able to control the game and keep the attack going. But Liverpool is not classic Simeone Haram ball where they're just going to get back. It's not Arteta's style of football either. I think they'll be playing a little. I think it'll be entertaining.
No, yeah, that's why I think it might be high scoring. I think Liverpool's defense is not as strong. PSG obviously have a deadly attack, and I do think PSG might leak some goals. You saw in that first leg against Chelsea do it. So, but yeah, like you said, the midfield also, they have a massive advantage. They have Vitinha for me, second best midfielder in the world. So they can really control that midfield, and he's the engine of it, and he'll put on some more masterful performances in these two legs.
Yeah, I feel like. Who would you say is kind of like the most important player in this game? The X factor,
I think I kind of mentioned it. I think Vitinha is a big one, but I think it's Kavicha. I think he'll have massive games. I think obviously Dembele got all his flowers, the Ballon d'Or, but I think when he came in January, it also pushed them to the champions. It gave him depth, and it also gave him a guy that, to me, he can do everything. He's an elite passer. We saw his pressing ability. He's got fresh legs, and he can score like no other. So I think Kavicha would be the difference, and I think especially Frimpong, that's been struggling, is going to have his hands full, and I don't know if they're going to play someone else. Sometimes they do, but yeah, I think he's going to be the X factor, and he's going to be the best player in this 2 legs.
Yeah, I think so, especially for the PSG side. And
Yeah.
I like what you said about his matchup on the flank with Frimpong. To me, one of the X factors is going to be what Flo Verts do we get. He was having a better run a couple months ago. He's kind of come back down to what he started the year as. So I think it's what level he can achieve, and I guess to an extent, what level does Mo Salah achieve if he does play? He's been out of the squad a couple times throughout the year, so
But
I don't know
unfortunately,
if he shows
there
up
for Mo Salah, he's going against the best left back in the
in the
world.
world. So yeah, to me, it's Flo Verts.
I can see that, especially for Liverpool.
Yeah,
He would be the key. I think also McAllister would be huge. I think Silvaslai, we've seen him
he's
have
been
some.
their best player
Yeah,
for
the season.
for the season.
I
So
think if he can create some magic like those free kick goals we've seen him do, or create something out of nothing, they could scare a couple people. But yeah, no. I do think PSG have the upper hand in here, but I do think it could be good because Liverpool sometimes for the champions turns up.
yeah, all right. I think that's it for that game.
Mm-hmm.
We have another very high-profile team between the other two of Xabi Alonso's teams in a major clash of powers. One that seems to be on an absolute heater. They've been going on a great run, but they might find themselves without their star in Harry Kane, versus a team that's had a somewhat difficult 2 years ever since the arrival of Kylian Mbappe. They seem to have found some momentum for a bit, but they seem to have stumbled with a 2-1 loss against Mallorca this weekend.
That was tough, man.
Yeah. What's your insight into the Real Madrid Bayern Munich clash?
This is a clash, to say the least.
Yeah.
I mean, two of the most historic teams in this competition. It's just something weird. Like everyone thought Man City was going to take a Madrid because obviously haven't looked good, but it's usually when you don't expect anything from Madrid where they go and win the Champions League. Something happens when they put on that jersey and they're not expected to win. They take care of business and win the Champions League. But to me, Bayern Munich has been the best attack team and overall the best team consistently all of this season. Obviously, if Harry Kane's not there, that's a big loss. I still do think they can win this without him. But, I mean, to me, he's been the best striker in
world
Europe.
this season.
Yeah, in the world, I guess, this season. And he's put up crazy numbers. Elise is almost matching Messi's record assist. He's on pace for that. He's been crucial. And then Luis Diaz coming in from Liverpool has been huge for them as well. They're putting up numbers and
they've been the best front line in Europe this year. They've been absolutely sensational.
As much as Madrid also has those name powers, Trent's kind of been building up good performances coming back from injury. Valverde, obviously, in that first leg against Man City, and he's had a couple goals and some other games as well. But it's weird. Like, you want to say Madrid because it's always weird, but Bayern Munich are just a way better team and in better form. So I am going to pick Bayern, I think. The first one will be in Madrid, if I'm not mistaken. I do think it will be a draw in that one. I think it's a 1-1, 2-2 draw. I think Madrid push Bayern a little bit, but I think once they get to the Allianz Arena, I think, especially if Harry Kane's back, I think they win 2-0, 3-1, something like that, and end up winning both legs.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. I think I see it going similar to you. I think we could see a tie in the first leg, followed by Bayern winning in the Allianz Arena. I went to both stadiums recently, and they're both absolutely incredible, with incredible atmospheres. They're going to be very special and very electric games. But I think that it's going to be just because the players they have on the field, on the pitch. I think Bayern Munich's going to be able to overcome it. I do think whether Harry Kane plays or not,
it's big deal.
It's a big difference, obviously. But I think most likely, if the line is that he might play the first leg, if he misses the first leg, he'll probably be available the second leg, which I do think with him they're willing. If they go down 2-1 with a loss at the Bernabeu, I think they could overcome it. At the Allianz Arena. So I'm thinking I'm leaning Bayern either way.
Yeah. Something that we to look out for is, I mean, Vinicius has been in great form lately.
Yeah.
We've seen what he can do when he's on form in the Champions League. So, I mean, he's a threat every time he touches the ball. with not only his speed, his technical ability, and just the way to smell the goal. Let's see if him and Killian, they have had trouble linking up when they play together. They always seem to shine when the other one's not there. But I wouldn't count this Madrid team out. I think it's going to be really close, especially if Harry Kane isn't there. But I think Madrid, they need a 2-goal lead leaving Madrid in order to be able to win this.
I think so. I think 2 is definitely the golden number that Madrid wants to have the lead going into the Allianz Arena.
If you come out with the tie in that stadium, I think
that's golden. A huge win for them.
That's what you got to. Obviously, you got to go for the win, but you're happy leaving with a tie there.
Yeah, and then for me, I think one of the most important things is just going to be Real Madrid's backline. It's been iffy for 2 years now. Luckily for them, you're getting Militao, but fair. But it's been they were able to win the Liga and the Champions League, but it's been the 2 years where it's been really shaky. You brought in those players, but they've been getting hurt. Trent's been getting hurt. Militao just came back. Huijsen hasn't had the best run of form, but he's coming back now from injury as well. Even Carreras was out for a bit, who I think's actually been pretty solid all year.
Yeah.
But that's definitely, to me, the key factor, how they hold up against such a good front line.
I think also, Courtois has been the best goalkeeper in the world and put up some performances in the Champions League.
Yeah, but he might be out too.
He's a brick wall back there, so if he's available, it also changes a lot. But, I think Bayern is just a better team and in general, and it's unfortunate, but because the draw for that side is kind of insane. But
other than Valverde, I think they're also going to be able to control the midfield a lot better.
Yeah, Jude just came back from injury, so he hasn't looked as good. So,
and I haven't loved Camavinga's and Chouameni's form recently.
Oh, Chouameni has been playing center back earlier.
Yeah, so he hasn't been given any favors, but their runs haven't been necessarily great recently.
Yeah, I think the only people, Mbappe, but he just came back from injury as well, but he's obviously been on form to start the season. Vinicius here in 2026 has been on form, and Valverde, I think those are, and Trent when he's come back 2026. But
we'll see. Maybe we've seen Thiago Pitarch. I actually haven't learned how to pronounce that name recently, but we'll see if he gets a chance to play. He's been a bright spot that they found in midfield.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. But all right, we'll move on to the last game here. Barcelona versus the other Madrid, Atletico. They just played this past weekend. Barca with a 2-1
first of a trilogy
W, and then obviously a couple weeks ago with the what's it called
Copa del Rey,
where 4-0, then almost at Montada with 3-0. What are your thoughts on this one? This looks to me like the highest scoring.
I think so as well.
Or matchup here.
We've been treated to that, and I think the first game of the year in La Liga, was it the 4-1 or the 5-2?
5-2.
Yeah, it was the 5-2 Barca win. Obviously, if you guys watched the La Liga game between Atleti and Barca, you would have seen that Atleti rested a lot of players.
And then the Lewa lucky goal to win it.
Yeah, there was the Lewa lucky goal to win it. But there was also some key Barca players didn't play. There was no Frenkie de Jong, who came back from injury.
Obviously, Rafinha's still hurt, but he's probably going to be hurt.
He's going to be hurt. His target day, I think, is at Clásico in May. I think they're getting fresher. Koundé's back, which I think can be very important. No Bernal is not ideal, but with Gavi back from injury and as a sub and Frenkie back from injury, can really replace Bernal, and he's just levels above a lot of players in Europe. And as you said, it's going to be very high scoring, I think, because of the concerns with Barca's back line, and this just has been a little different than Simeone's. They've been going forward more this year,
and they've been leaking a lot of goals as well. So Spurs put up some goals on them.
Yeah, and they've scored early and they struggled with keeping leads, and Barca's kind of a team that's good at attacking when they're behind. So it's going to be very interesting in both legs. First leg, I do think Barca's just phenomenal at home, and we've seen it.
Is it not in Atletico first?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
So they flipped it
because Barca, they were 5th, but Spurs were 4th, and since Atleti beat Spurs, they inherit the 4 seed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So as we've seen in both games at the Camp Nou, Barca have scored a ton of goals with the 3-0 win and then the 5-2 win. So I do think it could be 4-1 at the Camp Nou, and then Barca like a 2-2 at the Riyadh Air Metropolitano. I just don't like that. The Wanda Metropolitano. Yeah. Come on. I think that's my prediction. I'm going with the 4-1 and then a 2-2 for a 6-3 aggregate.
I kind of agree. I'm going to go actually 4-2 in Barcelona. And then I do think Atletico remontada a little bit, but 2-1 win for them.
Okay.
But obviously Barca winning overall. I think no Rafinha is huge.
No Rafinha is huge, but if you saw this, I like Rashford.
Rashford's having a great season. It looks like the Rashford Man fans wanted.
Yeah, and the way he linked up with Dani Olmo, I thought they worked really well together while he was in that false nine role. Some people have criticized it a little, but I mean, I think he did a really good job falling back, and he's really good in tight space, and he was able to distribute the ball. And to me, it was just a beautiful assist on the Marcus Rashford goal.
Yeah, I think Barca's going to struggle. There's going to be some leak goals. We've seen them. I think the same thing. I think Barca has too many special players. Obviously, Lamine on the right, he's going to create something out of nothing and drop it absolute dime to his teammates. Hopefully, they can put it in the back of the net.
Hopefully, Atleti know not to put Nico Gonzalez at left back anymore.
Anyone you put at left
back,
bro. But unless it's Nuno Mendes. But I think Pedri's going to control the midfield. Lamine's going to be special. And I just think when it's two leaky defenses, you take the better attack and the better player and the better offensive team, even without Rafinha, who's a big loss. But that's why I think they're going to lose the second leg. I think at home you have other players stepping up and creating another Lamine. I think in the away leg, kind of with the Inter game, Lamine's going to be like the only source of special. So I do think so my math would be 5-3 overall, or 5-4, excuse me. But yeah, I think it's going to be very high scoring. It's going to be a great game, and I mean Barca need to get through this if we want to believe in this team.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, to me, just kind of the main thing with the first leg is Atleti's going to be a lot more well rested.
Yeah.
Llorente didn't play, Pubil didn't play, Lookman didn't play. I don't think Vargas played.
Lookman, since he's been added to that team, has him and Alvarez have been the source of everything, and Lookman it looks like he gets a contribution in every game. So I think that's dangerous, especially he's a little speedy with that high line. If he gets in behind, it'll be hard to stop.
Hanko didn't play, so there's a lot of key pieces that will be well rested, while Barca played everyone, really. I mean, I know Lewa only came on at the end.
Barca are also younger, so the legs are fresher, but...
Yeah. But I even with that, I still think that at the Camp Nou, it's Barca's to win and win big.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they pull in Newcastle and they just blow it open.
Yeah.
And then in the second leg, they lose, but they're up by so many goals, it doesn't matter. But yeah, this high-scoring affair, I think both teams score in both legs, so
yeah,
I think it's going to be really good. But here, once we previewed all the quarterfinals, we can kind of go into not that in depth into the semifinal matchups, but kind of our prediction for the rest of the way.
Yeah, for the first semifinal, it's going to have been PSG Bayern. PSG's probably been the second best team, if not the best team, in all of Europe this year. They've just been in phenomenal form, tearing up the Bundesliga. But I'm going to have to go with PSG. I just think they're heating up at the right time. I think they're going to be well rested. I still think they're phenomenal on attack. They still have an elite defense. I'm a big fan of Bacho myself. And obviously Nuno Mendes is the best left back in the world. And there's not enough you can say about that midfield. So just to me, I think the only area where, if you're looking at them as a collective group, where Bayern might be better is the front line. And I don't think the gap's that big.
I don't think it's that big.
Yeah, so to me, Luis Enrique is also just a tier above all the other coaches in the world, basically. So to me, I just think PSG's too good a team that's in the right moment. And then on the other side, Barca Arsenal. It just looks like it's Arsenal year. It feels like it's Arsenal's year. But I feel like they're gonna be a little more focused on the Premier than Barca is on La Liga. And it is scary. We don't. That's. I guess you could be. You're flirting on the line of whether Rafinha could be there. He might not be there. I think it's leaning more till he's not there. But I think just the way this attack has been, if there's a team maybe built to stop Barca, it could be Arsenal.
Yeah.
Especially the way with Arteta's games and the way they can play, and they don't leave a lot of space open, and Barca thrives in space. But something about this Barca team, man, when you have the best midfielder in the world, the best player in the world. To me, what has been playing, I mean, the debate for best goalkeeper in the world is down to 3, and 2 of them play for Barca and Arsenal. I just think Barca to me is special, and I think you set up Luis Enrique versus Barca in a very special final. And I'll let you hit your semis first.
Okay. Well, we both picked the same quarterfinal, so it's PSG, Bayern. As much as I love this Bayern team, and I do think they're the best team in the world, I think they just find a way to choke. I think this PSG team, like last year, is heating up at the right time and beating anything in their path. And I think they're special. I think they have the best midfield as a whole in the world. They have, after Bayern, the best attack in the world. And I think it sucks not having Donnarumma because they would have the best goalkeeper in the world, and he saved them against Aston Villa and in other moment and against Liverpool, as well. So I think not having him is huge, but I still think they get through Bayern, especially if Harry Kane's not healthy by then, or if someone else picks up an injury for them. I do think PSG is way superior in the midfield, and midfield a lot of time wins you game if they can control possession and they can dictate the game, especially with an engine like Vitinha. So I am going to pick PSG like you. And on the other side, hopefully Rafinha's back, but it's looking like he might not be.
Yeah.
I think I agree with what you said. I think Arsenal's defense is built to stop that high-powered attack, and I do think it's going to be an ugly games for Barca. I just think Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world by a mile, and I think he's going to, kind of like he did with Inter, create some magic. But I don't think Arsenal's attack is as powerful as maybe Inter was last year, and how they're schematically – Inter was built better schematically offensively than Arsenal. Is kind of more like free kicks.
And Gerard Martin was fouled, man. Don't start me on that.
So I do think Barca edge. I do think maybe they give up some set piece. I do think maybe they win 3-2 in aggregate, not that high scoring comparing for Barca games. And I also have PSG and Barca in my final. And then I'll go straight into it. This is the final we all thought we were going to get last year, and we got, I guess, robbed of it, especially with the 5-0 fiasco.
Yeah, one of the most dominant games.
But I saw something, I think, since the 2017 or 2018 final, I forget, the losing team has not scored in the Champions League. It's all been like something 0 games. This one, unfortunately, I do think Barca's run ends. As much as I would love to see us get back to glory, I just think with that high line and those PSG defenders are just going to cook that high line. Or no, the PSG attackers are going to cook Barca's high line, I think this PSG team has kind of built beautifully to exploit Barca's weakness of leaking goals. And I think the midfield is going to be pretty even. Obviously, the 2 best midfielders in the world going at it. I think that's going to be whoever can control the game more is going to be the X factor. But I do think PSG win. I do think the no-goal thing ends. I think it might be 3-2 PSG.
Okay, I'm gonna go different. I think Barca wins it. I just think back a little. I know it's completely different teams. It was international football. It was Spain, Portugal, and there was a moment for the beginning. Spain looked like the better team. When they had Pedri in, I just feel like they had the flow and control of the midfield. And when he got subbed off, Vitinha just took over.
That was a bad,
So I think that was a very bad decision. I feel like in that game, Pedri really did establish himself as the better player. And I feel like in this moment, he's not going to get pulled off. He's going to be there. He's going to be in control of his team. And you're going to get Rafinha, Mr. Champions League, as he calls himself.
He can't call himself
that.
I
know.
Yet. He's not allowed.
But he said he was like the champion. Come on. I'm not dissing my own guy. He's sensational, man.
He hasn't won one. He can't call himself that.
He was like, look, he was the leading scorer. I think that's why he said it. But yeah, he's back for one last Champions League of the game of the year. what might be Lewa's last game with Barca. And I do think, while this high line fails, I do think we have great players back there. I think Cancelo has really turned us around in the way that he can attack. And I just think that, in this moment, this is the moment you have Lamine Yamal for. And I think he scores.
My issue with that is, okay, Rafinha, let's say he's back.
Yeah.
I do think he may have
the biggest worry is the high line.
Some fatigue, obviously the high line. And I also think there's one guy that can stop Lamine. We kind of see him.
It's Nuno Mendes. He's done it before. He did it in that game I just talked about, the Nations League final.
That would also, those two matchups, if whoever wins those two matchups is going to win the game. And I'm not saying Nuno Mendes is going to lock up Lamine. I think Lamine would do his thing a little more than that game.
I mean, let's not pretend. Like I mentioned, he's also going up against one of the best fullbacks in the world.
No, yeah. But I think maybe Rafinha's a little still just got back, a little iffy, but I think he'll be good. But I think just imagine that high line. Just imagine the speedy Dembele running in behind Barcola, Kavicha, Doué. I don't see us being able to match that, especially with the fullbacks they have to neutralize our weapons.
Yeah, it's very fair. These are two very good teams.
No,
I do think PSG, they've already thrashed Barcelona once before earlier this year. And they looked very dominant and very convincing.
I think they're better now. I think
they're
back then. Yeah.
They're in a lot more of a heat right now. They have great momentum. So it's definitely a close one, and I think just PSG is a phenomenal team as well.
Yeah. But hey, we finally get to see the final we want to see last year, but this year, hopefully, I mean, we could be wrong, and they could both lose.
Bayern Arsenal would also be a phenomenal.
Or Bayern
option.
Barca.
Yeah, and that's assuming we get every game in the quarters right. We could just get Real Atleti in a Madrid game.
It could be Madrid and Barca Clasico, Madrid and Arsenal.
Yeah.
Or
Liverpool.
That's the only way I see Arsenal winning the whole thing. Madrid versus Arsenal in the final, because Madrid's never beaten Arsenal in the Champions. So it's like, but it'll be fun. There's some great teams left. I think there's 4 teams that can, 5 teams that could have the talent to win it, and I think it's obviously Barca, PSG, Bayern. Why can't I think of the other one?
Arsenal.
Arsenal, yes, sorry, and Madrid's the 5th one. That's kind of the edge. I just can't count them out because they're Madrid and they've won.
And I wouldn't doubt Atleti or Liverpool either. I mean,
I think they can.
If they can put it together, they have the players.
I just don't think they can win it with the teams left. And the road they would have to go, but they could.
Yeah.
But, thank you guys for watching. Next video might be the World Cup preview, and that's gonna be a fun one. I think that's obviously my favorite sporting event of all time. So
mine as well. It's just an insane mixture of culture, sport,
passion, love for the game. So I'm really, really excited for that. Obviously, it's here in the U.S. and Mexico, and
in Canada.
Fortunately, we're not going, but we'll watch it from home.
Yeah, we'll go out in the streets, be with the people.
Yeah, with the Latinos, with Mexicans. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy this switch up of sports here in the off season for football. Obviously, when season gets closer, we'll get back to football, and we'll kind of balance both. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Raquel said she was on the way 10 minutes ago.